Recently, I had a chance to speak with Dan Osborn. He's the independent candidate running for Senate in Nebraska, challenging the sitting Republican Senator Deb Fischer in the deep red state. This year, Democrats are not running a candidate for Senate in Nebraska, and Osborn, a union leader who helped lead a strike against Kellogg's in 2021, is hoping to consolidate anti-Republican voters. I began our conversation by talking about why he thinks he has a shot at beating Senator Fischer.
Well, I think people are frustrated with party politics right now. The Senate's a millionaire's club. It's a country club. There's nobody like me in the United States Senate, somebody who works with their hands for a living, and I think that's the way our founding fathers set it up.
And you led a strike against Kellogg. You got a lot of attention for that. How did that inspire you to make this run?
Well, yeah, it inspired me because I got to help working people. I got to help save 1,500 jobs nationwide, and that's what I want to do for the working people of Nebraska. I want to continue helping workers.
And you are, of course, also running as an independent. You say you want to help workers. Tell me a little bit about that decision to run as an independent.
Sure. It's similar to what I just said as far as the country club politicians. I feel like both sides are catering to their extremes right now, and talking with Nebraskans, people are frustrated by that.
It's striking that you say that you think both sides, both parties are catering to the extremes. The Nebraska Democratic Party doesn't have a candidate. It's widely expected that they might endorse you. Would you welcome an endorsement from the Democratic Party?
Look, I want an endorsement from everybody. I've spoken with libertarians at their convention. I have 7 GOP county monthly meetings that I'm going to be attending. I got Republicans on my campaign. I got Democrats, Libertarians, and Independents all working together to form a coalition like Nebraska's never seen before.
But you say that the parties, that they're both catering to the extreme. So why would you want Democrats endorsing you if they are possibly part of the problem?
Well, I would want everybody endorsing me. I mean, that would be ideal, because like I said, I'm trying to bring people together, kind of like the same thing I did on strike. I was able to turn that into a nonpartisan issue and get Republicans out to the picket line, and because the way I see the world, I just see working people that are just trying to have some semblance of peace and get through life.
Also, of course, what's important is your union affiliation. How important is that to you personally as you think about your campaign?
Yeah, it's really important to me. The Nebraska State Feds just endorsed my candidacy. It's important because what being in a union's meant to me, I can't speak to what they do on national levels, but what it's meant for me is earning a livable wage, good health care, and good Christmases for my kids, and to be a homeowner. That's about it. Kind of sounds like the American dream a little bit, right?
It's really interesting because I've also been talking to union workers who echo some of the same language that you say about sort of just having access to the American dream. I've also heard from some voters that they want a candidate that's pro-worker. They're not as interested in someone who's pro-union. What do you make of that distinction that voters are making?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think every workforce has to be unionized at all, but I think all workers should have a fair shake at life, and unions do help that, but also unions help non-union labor as well by raising wages.
And how would you describe yourself? Are you pro-union, pro-worker, both? How would you put it? And what's the distinction there in your mind?
I don't think there is a distinction. Unions just contracted labor, but no, guys that are out there working 50, 60, 70 hours a week like I've always done, those are the people I want to represent. I want to give them a voice.
Another really interesting thing as we've talked to union workers that's come up is that there's really this distinction I've found between rank and file union workers and union leaders. A number of voters have told us they don't want to be told who to vote for by their union leader. They see sometimes that their union leader is more interested in Democrats than Republicans, which might clash with some of the rank and file members. What do you make of that distinction and that rift that we see sometimes between rank and file members and union leadership?
Well, 20 years ago, when I first joined the union at Kellogg's, I had one of the old guys come up to me. He kind of looked like Tom Selleck, and he said, "He's like, kid," he goes, "I don't give a crap what your politics are. At the end of the day, you need to vote your paycheck." And that's what I tell people, you know, if they're focused on wedge issues or whatever it is, I tell them at the end of the day, you need to vote your paycheck.
And I guess lastly, there are going to be some voters who maybe won't be familiar with you. What would you want voters to know about you as they think about, of course, Deb Fischer, who has been an establishment, at least in your state, and won by a large margin? Why should they be picking you over her?
Well, you know, I served my country in the Navy and in the Nebraska Army National Guard. But what you're going to get from me versus a Deb Fischer is you're going to get somebody who's going to vote their conscience and try to do what's right for people and not vote on who's giving me the most amount of money.
Well, thank you so much, Dan Osborn, for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.